I thought it was time to get back to finishing up this video. So I have sped this up to 20 times because I really took a long time, even though it looks like I'm working fast. So basically I'm trying to block in all the other colors that I wanted to set up. So it's all these beautiful grays that I created, and I think I mentioned in the first video I was focusing on those main colors of the violet and a gold color and a little bit of a turquoise color and a I don't know if that was a magenta or permanent rose. I tell you on the previous exactly which colors I was using, but basically I'm just trying to come up with a bunch of beautiful grays out of those basic colors. There's a little ultramarine blue that I modified my purple with occasionally. So it's a lot of mixing of colors. I'm using a small, it's kind of like the Messer Meister bowl scraper, but it's a smaller version that I received from Squeegee Press, the cold wax group. It's nice because it's a little smaller than the Messer Meister. Gets me into some of those little areas. But again, there's cold wax mixed in with most of my paints. I'm just correcting a little over. It's like I got a lot of straight edges, but it's no big deal. You know, if you don't get it perfect, you go back and you clean it up. There's my little magic tool that I like to use. It's just a paint guide that you can use. Get it at a hardware store. Just about anything would serve the purpose, but it's to help me get those verticals. There I'm just using the scraper as a guide. So sometimes people ask me how I get such straight lines. It's like, no, it's not cheating to use tools to help you achieve straight lines. There's a lot of that going on here. And I'll even get my straight edge out, which you just saw briefly there, just trying to make sure that I'm straight, because I don't like my buildings to look wonky. There's a lot of time spent mixing colors. A lot of time spent just looking. I decided to lighten that water up a little bit. And I'm going to bring some of it onto the other side. I was very conscious about the shapes and the balance and how light and dark things are. This part is a lot slower going than the beginning. Sorry I get in the way now and then. I cut out most of that. I don't always work on a table, but in this case it was just easier. But I will be switching to an easel later on. So laying in the foreground, this is a snow scene, as you can tell. Bringing in some other colors to the front building. There I am looking at it. This was the end of that day, trying to figure out what I wanted it to look like. Now here I come back in the next day. I look a little bit, I decided that I didn't like some of what was going on compared to my study. There was an angle that was off. Those little lines that I actually have clear elastics that I can put over my painting to give me guidelines. So those clear elastics right now are at the midway point, and then so it's broken it into 4 equal bands, and that way I can compare it to my notes that I have to try to understand what might be off a little. I also can put the vertical ones in if I wanted to, and actually grid the original painting off as much as I need to in order to figure out what's off. In this case, I'm looking at a previous painting that I did, and there was something about the gesture of the house that felt a little different. So here I am just correcting and trying to figure out what I want it to look like. And there I am adjusting the angle of the roof line and comparing back and forth and looking. Trying to understand exactly where that house was, where that window is, and the window was too small, so I adjusted the window. taken the elastics off, so I've corrected whatever it was I was upset with. Again, I can't believe this is sped up 20 times, but here is where I left it at the end of this day. But then I did do some more work on it, and I don't have the video of the touch-up because it was just very anal little stuff, but here you go. You can see this is the final. I did bring some more warmth into the clouds. I've brought some more warmth into some other areas to just brighten up the piece a little, because it didn't seem to have the same sense of sunshine that I was looking for. And here's the final painting. And this is how it sits right now. I've softened the roof a little, the black roofs a little, so they have a little more atmosphere. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching the completion of this painting. Thanks for tuning in.